Most people spend years lifting weights and doing basic gym exercises, but even after all that, they still are and feel weak. But wrestlers don't rely only on weights, and they are some of the strongest people on earth. They use brutal bodyweight exercises that build strength, balance, and explosive power at the same time. So I found 3 bodyweight exercises used by some of the most dominant wrestlers in history that can build strength even faster than weighted training. And the best part is, you don't need to be a wrestler to start doing them. The first crucial exercise is called the half-moon push-up. Yeah, I know, the name sounds a little weird at first, but honestly, there's a reason behind it, and trust me, this is genuinely one of the best bodyweight exercises out there. We'll get to why in a second. Let's learn how to actually do it correctly, because look, most guys on YouTube explain this thing completely wrong. So first, place your palms on the floor about shoulder width apart. Your feet should be around 3 to 4 feet behind your hands. Then push your hips up so they become the highest point of your body. My friend describes this very well. He says you should look a little confused and folded at the same time. Anyway, now slowly drop your hips towards your heels. Your knees stay low, but don't let them touch the floor. Then rotate your knees to one side so one hip faces the ground. From here, your chest moves in a smooth half circle across the floor to the other side. And this part is important. It should feel like one continuous motion, not 2 separate movements awkwardly stitched together. I mean, your chest should literally look like it's drawing a half moon on the ground. That's why the name, by the way. But now you're probably wondering, how does this build strength faster than weights or even regular push-ups? First of all, you probably know Karl Gotch. He was basically a really famous wrestler, and this push-up always pops up in his workout book. So here's the interesting part. Every single rep mimics what wrestlers call parterre defense. That's basically the position where your opponent has control over you from behind, and you're trying your absolute best not to get folded like laundry. Every rep trains that exact position under fatigue, and honestly, that's why this builds real strength so much faster. Look, a flat bench press mainly trains you to push weight in one straight line, but this trains you to fight and generate force in every direction at the same time, and that's exactly why wrestlers loved it so much. Research on grapplers also shows movements like this help prevent rib strains because they build strength through a much bigger range of motion than normal flat pressing exercises can. And to be fair, this isn't just great for wrestlers, it's amazing for anyone trying to build a strong, athletic body, because it targets the core in addition to the chest, arm, and shoulder muscles. These 3 push-ups will not only increase overall strength, but also help prevent injuries. But look, to actually get those benefits, you need to do the exercise correctly and in the right amount too. So perform this 2 to 3 times per week. Do 1 minute of non-stop half-moon push-ups and repeat that 5 times. This was the first exercise, but the next exercise is even more important. It's called the parallel bar dip, but lean forward. Now, the first exercise was used by the god of wrestling, but this one was done by the Russian lion himself, George Hackenschmidt. And honestly, this guy was built differently. If you want to know more about him, you can check out my free newsletter, but today, that's not our topic. By the way, there's also a hidden code somewhere in this video. Whoever finds it gets both of my workout and mobility books for free. Link is in the description. Anyway, here's how to do them properly. Set yourself up on parallel bars. Before you go down, lean your torso forward about 30 to 45 degrees. And this part is important. Keep that lean the entire time. Now lower yourself until your elbows hit around 90 degrees. Then press back up explosively. Full range of motion on every rep, please. Honestly, that matters way more than most people think. Now, the reason for the forward lean is simple. It shifts more of the load from your triceps onto your chest and front shoulders. And interestingly, that's the exact same pushing motion your arms make when you're breaking a clinch or driving somebody off you during a sprawl. Now, here's an interesting comparison. A chest press machine moves in one straight, predictable line, but this dip follows the same arc your arms naturally travel through when you're trying to push a 90-kilogram human being off your body, which, to be fair, sounds a lot more useful than moving a shiny machine handle back and forth. And that's exactly why this builds real-world strength way faster. The best part is, you can even do these at home if you have parallel bars. Elite coaches recommend them because they build strength while also improving mobility in the pecs and triceps, and honestly, That combination is rare. Most exercises give you one or the other. So here's what to do with that. Perform 3 to 4 sets of 7 to 15 reps twice a week and make sure you recover properly between sessions. That recovery part is the whole secret sauce people ignore. Now we have 2 really good exercises that you can follow. But if you really want to stick out with your strength, the next one becomes really crucial for you. This exercise was invented by probably the most dominant heavyweight wrestler in history, Alexander Karelin. Scientists literally describe him as a biological phenomenon, and honestly, when you look at the guy, you kind of understand why. He built shoulders powerful enough to lift a 130-kilogram man completely off the floor and throw him around like he was a backpack. And the exercise he used to build that strength, you've almost definitely never seen it before. The inverted shoulder walk. Now look, I'm not gonna lie, the name sounds terrifying, and to be fair, the movement is pretty awkward too. But don't worry, I know most of you are not wrestlers preparing for the Olympics, so I'll make this as simple as possible. Lie flat on your back, then roll your legs backwards so your weight is supported by your shoulders, upper back, and arms. From there, walk forward by shifting your weight across your shoulder blades. Take around 5 to 10 steps forward, then reverse back, and keep your hips elevated the whole time. If they drop, stop and reset before continuing. Now let's get to the most important part. Why does this beat weights? See, a barbell row trains your back in one straight predictable line, and yeah, that's useful, but this exercise forces your shoulders to stabilize and generate force while your entire body is upside down and constantly shifting. It's kind of like driving on a straight dry road versus driving on ice. One teaches control in comfortable conditions, the other forces your body to fight for stability every second, and honestly, this exercise lives completely on the ice side. Karelin used this because Greco-Roman wrestling demands explosive upper body control for every throw. His signature reverse body lift relied on the exact muscles this movement trains. The posterior shoulders, upper back, and traps all working dynamically in ways a normal barbell simply can't copy. But because this exercise is difficult, you need to be careful with it. Use it as a daily warm-up drill. Do 3 sets of 10 steps in each direction. And as you get stronger, either increase the number of steps or add a pause in the middle of the walk to build even more isometric shoulder strength. Shout out to this comment. And if you ever want to discover more of those, just click the subscribe button and sign up for my free newsletter. I love writing, so I do it in my free time and put some surprises in there as well because I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.